Welcome to the Rise of Immortals Immortal Spotlight. Today we will be evaluating and introducing the newest tournament entrant, Karapyss, the Crabomancer. Karapyss is a tanky melee character who deals magic damage and has abilities that excel at initiating teamfights and disturbing team focus. He is most valuable when initiating the teamfights or ganks, as he is able to disorient a large area with ease. In addition to his initiation capabilities, he deals very consistent long-term damage during a teamfight, which will severely punish his foes if he is left alive. Karapyss is at his weakest if caught without mana or has his submerge ability interrupted so that he cannot use Emerge to get away. To maximize your effect on the battlefield as Karapyss, you are going to need to focus on stats like health, mana, armor, and magic resistance. All of these stats help to increase how long Karapyss can be in the middle of a fight, dealing constant damage with his ultimate. Starting with Culture Boots is a good idea, because Karapyss can turn the extra mana into health using the Submerge ability for regeneration during the lane phase. Follow it up with Mage Slayer Gauntlets to move into the defensive items with Amulet of Duality, Orchid Stone, and Ring of Shielding. Since Karapyss is a tank, you should always tailor your build to specialize more in armor or magic resistance, depending on your opponents. Some examples of these focused items are Shining Breastplate and Mage Ward. His first ability is Deluge. It is a single target nuke that silences and creates a pool of water at the target's current location. This pool reduces the movement speed and magic resistance of all enemies inside the area. This ability is very versatile and can help during a chase, escape, or teamfight. To use this ability effectively, you should try to aim it on someone who will place the pool in a narrow choke point, or use the ability on someone who absolutely needs to be silenced during a teamfight. When fighting against a single opponent, if you silence them, it will prevent them from interrupting your submerge, possibly allowing you to chase or get away where you otherwise couldn't. The next ability is Submerge. Karapyss digs down into the ground, giving him a 5-second channeling heal over time, which gives him a lot of sustain during the lane phase. The ability can be activated a second time during the channeling duration to stop healing early and dig to the targeted location, dealing damage and knocking up opponents in the area. Karapyss uses this ability as his primary form of initiation for teamfights. This ability is especially effective when used from outside of opponent's vision for a surprise knockup. During the laning phase, if you are low, it is a good idea to back up and use this ability to regenerate health, allowing you to stay in lane as long as possible. His third ability is Essence of the Kraken. It gives a passive effect of damage reduction to incoming weapon attacks, and on activation, gives Karapyss splash damage to all nearby enemies. This ability is what gives Karapyss the mitigation he needs to survive the harass in lane phase and tank in teamfights. It reduces all enemy weapon damage, making creeps much less of a nuisance in lane, while even reducing the strength of enemy harassment. The activated portion of this ability is very effective when used to jungle, kill large buildups of lane creeps, or just to maximize sustained damage during a teamfight. His ultimate ability is Elder Leviathan. It is a toggled ability that drains your mana for every second that it is being cast. It does increased damage to all enemies who are closer to Karapyss, and less damage the farther away they are. This ability provides an enormous amount of sustained damage to Karapyss during teamfights or chases. To use this ability effectively in a teamfight, you should use it after initiating into the center of the enemy team. The damage from this ability hitting all of your enemies will add up very quickly, but be mindful about your mana pool so that you don't become unable to cast your other spells. Storm Wall is Karapyss' signature. You should learn it immediately after you hit level 16. This ability is what will completely and absolutely disorient and disrupt the entire enemy team and can either make or break a teamfight. When you use this, it will create a barrier in a ring around Karapyss, which will pull any enemy who comes in contact with the wall toward Karapyss. Karapyss can still move while using this ability, and the Storm Wall will follow him. Karapyss is very versatile in the lane phase because he can go to almost any lane and be effective. Karapyss can play like a support in the lane phase with a carry to help by disabling aggressive opponents and initiating fights, or even jungle if you have two Immortals capable of soloing lanes. While jungling with Karapyss, you should prioritize Essence of the Kraken to keep you alive and breeze through the jungle creeps at warp speed. When going for a kill, it can be devastating to utilize Brush to get an Emerge off. This will give you and your allies the best possibility of killing your enemy. The artifact build for Karapyss should consist of max HP talismans, cooldown reduction totems, movement speed seals, armor and magic resist symbols, and the armor, movement speed, and dodge relic. And that concludes this week's Immortal Spotlight of Karapyss, the Crabomancer. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon. To learn more about Rise of Immortals, visit signup.riseofimmortals.com to download and play the game today for free.